Hey guys, how's it going? Entropy here today with another video. Today we're going to be doing something different again. I'm actually going to go play a ranked fight with a deck that I've been playing ranked with. And this is the Spike Brothers deck that just came out from the clan event. So if you're familiar with another Vanguard tuber, Living Proof, uh, you'll easily recognize this list. This is because it's one-to-one. It's a copy and paste of his list. I've been watching a lot of his videos, a lot of his insights, and this refined list that he had, I think, is honestly the go-to list. He had a collab with Different Fight, and that list was, just not working for me. But definitely do check that video out too. But you play your 4 PGs, you play your 4 Reckless Express. Reckless Express is a great card because when you do your final turn combo, you do need to get rid of your frontal rearguards, and Reckless Express gives you that option. In addition, it's also a 7k booster, so it does help you hit 16k numbers with your 9k grade 2 rearguards as well. Next, we play 3 of the Dudley Phantoms. We don't play the other Dudley unit, the 7+5. Dudley Phantom is a great utility card. It's a 10k booster whenever you want, and it goes back to the deck, which means your Jelly Beans actually has more targets than it does if you play the 7+5. Next, we play 2 of the Medical Manager. Medical Manager is an interesting card. On paper, it doesn't sound that great. On play Soul Charge 1, it doesn't really seem like it fits in Spike Brothers. But as you can see, we don't really play Dudley Dan anymore. And, the cards that require Soul, like Reckless Express, High Speed Bracky, Juggernaut Maximum, these cards use that Soul really, really quickly. And other than, I guess, Medical Manager, since we're playing it already, the only other unit that Soul Charges is the Dudley Emperor. And you only Soul Charge once each time you use it. So definitely worth playing 2 of. It's a great ride target because you don't want to waste your Reckless Express and stuff to ride, as well as it's a good booster behind the Dudley Emperor because it does hit 21k as a column. Next, we play 4 High Speed Bracky. Not much to be said. We play 4 Dudley Douglas, a good 9k. On place counterblast 1+5. I rarely use it as a superior call target with Dudley Emperor because you do want to save them as a search target for Jelly Beans. But when you want to hit those numbers but you don't want to leave yourself vulnerable, it is definitely a good option. We play 4 10ks because they're great shields and it's a good ride target as well. And we play 1 Devil Summoner. That is it's great. Helps you fuel your early game aggression. It's also viable if you use your Dudley Emperor, call it the Devil Summoner, could potentially give you an extra attack if your other rearguard is still present. It could help you rebuild your board if you don't have a lot of board. And this is the case especially when you're playing against control decks or tempo decks like the End or Shadow Paladins. The grade 3 lineup is also pretty straightforward. 4 Jelly Beans because recyclable heals are great, 4 Dudley Emperors because consistency with the main Vanguard is great, Juggernaut Maximal because, again, recycling triggers are great, and then 1 General Siegfried because, well, Skydivers is also a viable choice, but General Siegfried, increases your rideable Vanguard from 4 to 5, and, I find it more comfortable to have an extra ride target over an extra utility rearguard. But anyways, I guess I'll bring this deck to a ranked fight and see how it goes. Just one more thing, apologies, but I haven't sorted the audio situation out yet, but I'm working on it. I spent the whole morning trying to figure this out. I'm not very tech savvy, so it's gonna take some time, but yeah. For this Spikes deck, I've been playing this for the last 7 ranks. I've been behind actually. I was actually above top 1000, which we should know by now means you're not 1000. Some people are still confused by that wording. I am too. but you know, that's the case. But I've been grinding hard. Spikes is a really good deck, um, and you can snatch a lot of wins easily, especially if your opponent doesn't know how to play against it. So let's look at our hand. We have a grade 2 here, Panther. That's great. Get rid of the Juggernaut. We're going first, so I do want to get the grade 3 in my hand. So I guess this is okay. Let's see if we get Dudley Emperor. Okay, we get General Seyfried, which is, you know, still a rideable target. Ooh, that's it. Alright, so here I would ride the Dudley Phantom. Okay. And one of the reasons why Spike Brothers I feel is like a really good deck in this meta right now is because, well, it has Mecha Trainer. And Mecha Trainer lets you fetch for PGs, it lets you fetch for your Reckless Express, your Slow Charge 1 if you need it, but generally the PG. And in this meta where there's, you know, there's MLB sometimes, there's Perfect Risers sometimes, which we're facing right now, there's Rages, and all sorts of shenanigans. A 9 crit Spectral Duke I think is pretty popular as of right now. The PG definitely does help you win games, and okay. Something interesting that does happen when you're playing against the Norokami matchup is, like, you know, you want to use your Mecha Trainer, they want to use their Saishin Lizard Soldier, Lizard Runner Saishin, and then we just keep damage denying each other. But yeah, honestly, I think it's to the Spike Brothers players' advantage because, you know, Spike Brothers can deal that much damage in the late game, like multiple attacks in the late game, while Narukami can't. So it's harder for them to catch up to you than for you to catch up to them. Especially with recyclable heals, even if you're behind on the damage, you can easily catch up by just hitting 1 or 2 heal triggers. Here, I guess I'll fetch the PG. So with the PG in my hand, I'm more comfortable with leaving my my defenses open, take some damage so I can activate Limit Break earlier. You know, while I did say, you know, the Dudley Emperor is, you know, is seen as a final turn move, it really doesn't need to be. You know, yes, the multi-attack is really enticing, but you can't just, you know, consider that as the only option, right? You can also rebuild your board and set up your attacks for the next turn. So that's something that, you know, I think is important to consider as well. What else? Some people do choose to ride Seyfried, like, if they have it. If you're above or less than 4 damage. Oh yeah, heal trigger is good. But I don't recommend it. Seyfried is just inconsistent. You know, you do plus, but, like, you have grade 3s, and most of your grade 3s, like your Dudley Emperors, your Jelly Beans, these clog the board, as in they don't leave out an empty space afterwards, right? So then your General Seyfried can't call out a unit in those, like, rearguard circles. So then you're stuck. You can't do your combo, and that's really inconvenient. So I guess this player plays crits as well, which is interesting. I don't recommend it. But I do still see a lot of people that are like, you know, oh yeah, play mixed triggers because 9 druids are boring, you know. It's, you know, if it's entertaining to them, you know, great. So since we are at a higher damage count, you know, putting back the heal doesn't hurt. Especially since I'm at 3, my opponent's playing Perfect Riser, so they should be at 2 crit, right? So then, even if they attack, even if I, you know, if I hit a heal, it means that their attack actually goes through, which means I can actually Limit Break. If I'm at 3, at least if I have PG in my hand, it means the PG procs, and so I won't hit Limit Break, so then I can use my Dudley Emperor, and in this case I would rather have 4 damage than, you know, 3 damage and 1 less PG in my hand. So I do hope that the heal procs. Of course, the rearguards could still hit, but if I put 2 grade 2s, then that shouldn't happen in this matchup. Calling this outside hand, because I still have a lot of draw triggers, so. And I just gotta flex that SP Dudley Douglas. Unfortunately, I did have to disenchant an SP Dudley Emperor to get my last jelly beans, but here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about. Now I hit a heal, you know, and then if the opponent does Perfect Riser, then rearguard hits rearguard, rearguard hits rearguard, and then Perfect Riser hits my Dudley Emperor. I'm at 4 damage, assuming I don't hit a heal trigger, and then I can limit break exactly as planned. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so I guess not as perfect for my opponent here. He has a Shurikaiser, and you know, I don't mind. I don't mind. Less crit pressure is nice. Kirada. So Miss Splendor can ignore intercept. So I hope my opponent uses Miss Splendor to hit face. Come on. No. Not falling for that. Maybe a Shurikaiser can hit a trigger. There we go. Trigger. Kirada? For those who don't know, a Shurikaiser is a tournament coupon reward. So if you do want to play Nova Grapplers, you know, a Shurikaiser is a great splashable card. 11k is not bad, and then restanding for free is pretty good. So do consider picking that up. Okay. I'm gonna give you the limit break. Okay. So this is the right play actually, because you know, at 1 damage you want to extend the lead, and I've shown 2 heals already, so the likelihood of another heal popping up, you know, isn't that likely. Oh, you know, speak of the devil. You know, we're gonna stay on Dudley Emperor. We're gonna search for a booster, actually. And then we can do... This goes to the bottom of the deck. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. And, you know, some people might think, oh, you know, the general Cypher sucks. Then. Like, you don't ride it, you don't do much. It's a backup, worst case scenario kind of card. And also, remember, Dudley Emperor does need to put a card from hand to the soul. So, you know, putting a grade 2 intercept isn't that great. Putting a grade 1 booster, you do need them. So, you know, I guess the last option is a grade 3. You don't want to put your Jelly Beans because they go back to the deck. You don't want to put your Juggernaut Maximums because they do go back to the deck. So, the best choices to actually put is, you know, the General Cypher or Dudley Emperor himself. So here, as we talked about, the 11 plus 7 with Dudley Emperor is 21. Good stuff. Something else to consider with using the Dudley Douglas is that he's a 9 plus 5, so with a 7k booster is 21, but it costs 1 counterblast, and you only have 5 counterblasts in game. So unless you heal or don't use Mecha Trainer, you can only use the Limit Break twice and then 1 Dudley Douglas or 1 Mecha Trainer. But in this case, because I healed away the Mecha Trainer, I have 2 counterblasts open now. With a 5th damage, that'd be 3, and so I can still use the Limit Break 1 more time, even if I do choose to use the Dudley Douglas. And I think I'll do that right here. So then my Dudley Douglas hits 21, because I do believe the chances of hitting a trigger is not too bad. Jelly Beans. Neat. So now my Dudley Douglas is 26 column. Assuming my opponent doesn't hit a trigger, then it'll pass. Alright, 6. Need 6. Then 10 hits rearguard. In terms of triggers, you know, we both hit around 8 triggers. So it's a pretty even fight in terms of that ground. Opponent went to Perfect Riser. Perfect Riser is still a pretty good card. You know, you caramelize 2, you get an extra trigger. 23k. If you get the and then the extra crit pressure, not bad at all. Does it really work well with future cards? No. But you know, as an archetype by itself, it's pretty solid. Definitely droid. So 4 perfect risers, right? This splendors the heal. Okay, that's 1 PG. So the PG procs. So yeah, exactly. This is a situation you don't want to be in as a Spikes player, because they know that I have a PG. They're gonna damage deny me and put me at 3, right? Especially since Spikes doesn't have a self damager to activate Limit Break. So okay, drew into another PG. It's pretty good. Push up the Reckless Express, I guess. Actually, no. I think I can wait for one more turn. Right? Yeah. Draw trigger, huh? So here, the reason why I didn't call out the another heal, huh? Pull out the Reckless Express to the front row is because I don't want to give my opponent 3 attack choices. If I did, then my opponent could rearguard, hit rearguard, rearguard, hit rearguard, and then Vanguard hit face to either put me to 5 or proc PG. And if it does proc PG, which it will, then I can't limit break. So here, I'm forcing my opponent to either choose to attack 1 less time on their turn in order to damage deny me, which is great because I'm essentially protecting myself from 1 extra attack without you know, using any resources. And if not, then I get to use my limit break and try to finish off the game. So on this attack, I think my opponent went with the option that I would have went with, because, well, this puts your opponent at 4, which means it's lethal if my opponent doesn't have a PG. You know, hand size is small, so the chance of a PG is quite low. And even if I attack with my Perfect Riser right now, I'm at 4, my opponent's at 4, so my heals will still proc. So definitely. Oh, I mean, my opponent doesn't have any heals left, but you know, in that case, then at least you know, the heal would still proc if they still had a heal in their deck, and so it's a nice position to be in. So here, I think this is the soul. So here, this is where Reckless Express shines, because Reckless Express needs to make up that extra attack and the empty space for Dudley Emperor to call something onto it. So yeah, with the soul issue, you see, without the medical manager, I would be at 0 soul before the Brachii attack, and then I wouldn't be able to put Brachii back to the deck. So definitely worth playing 1 or 2. Limit break. So here, I want to finish off the game. My opponent doesn't have any heals left, but probably 2 to 3 PGs. So let's see what I have. I guess it's just the 2 Brockies, huh? Generally, you want to avoid calling out triggers. Like, Juggernaut Maximum is enticing, but, you could just hit the Juggernaut Maximum and get the extra 5k, especially when your deck count's so low. Here's 16. And I'm going to use the boosters +4 instead of the Bracky because I need the intercept. Oh, that's it. That's a touchdown. Sick. So that's basically about it. If you're interested, I can do more videos like this. Not just the deck profile, but just playing rank fights and talking about the meta as a whole. But Spike Brothers is a great viable deck. I'm lucky to have gotten everything from the recent clan event. I used a lot of stamina and gems, but it does still require a lot of luck, definitely. And it's really fun, doing the multi-attacks and stuff. Definitely refreshing from, just cross-run numbers and burning your opponent's rear guards and stuff with shadows. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to my other content. Subscribe and like this video and all that nice stuff. Alright, see you. Bye.